welcome back. Happy Tuesday. Let's see who. Hey, Motor 2115. What's your name? Hey guys, thanks for joining in. We'll give it a few minutes while people get a chance to pop on. Facebook as always. Hey Tim, it's good to see you. Thanks for joining. Hey Yolanda, how are you? If you guys could take a moment and share the broadcast, that would be great. Before we get started, I'm still battling a cold, so you all have to forgive me. Hey newsmakers, good to see you. Thank you so much for the thumbs up and the hearts. I appreciate it. Hey James, how are you? Are you okay in Atlanta? How's it going in Atlanta? I know the weather was bad. Hello Michelle, how are you, gorgeous? Hey C Rose. So now that there's some folks on, so one thing that I talked about yesterday, I know, I'm glad to be amongst the living world of the winners too, Yolanda. I hear you. Hey, Trey. God bless you too, Lang. Thank you. Well, hello to everybody watching in Pakistan. Very nice. What time is it there? I always like to know what time it is in other parts of the world. I'm fascinated by that. So yesterday I talked a little bit about how I wanted to really be intentional about all of us celebrating ourselves. I think that, as parents and friends and family, but especially as entrepreneurs and people on the success track and those that are really working hard. Hey Daryl, how are you? We forget to celebrate our wins. We always, we spend so much time celebrating other people that we forget to celebrate our wins. Hey Pryor, how are you? So I just wanted, or is it Alicia? Looks like Pryor may be your last name. Oh, it's 442. Where are you, Trey? And so I want to really be focused on each of us taking time to really celebrate our wins. So I'll go first, but if you guys have any wins, anything good that happened to you today, oh, hey, in Phoenix. Okay. Hey, Shauna, how are you? Anything that you want to celebrate and you want us to celebrate with you. My kids are walking around. So if I seem a little, the kids and the dog are all of a sudden they got really, I don't know, they're all moving around. So it's distracting me. Oh, I have it right. It's Pryor. Okay, good. Just type it in the box. We really want to just focus on, hey, Mamie, mommy, how are you? Hey, sis. We really want to focus on wins. So I'm waiting for some people to type their wins in because I know that we've had some. So for me today, today really was kind of like a grinded out kind of day. I usually have 2 of those a week. And that just means that, I'm really focused on getting stuff done. Sean, I have Asa was on yesterday and Asa keeps telling me to stop saying I'm sick. So I'm in the healing process. But the little stuffy is an understatement. There's a lot going on over here. So today was a grinded out kind of day for me. Shauna, share a win. Do you have a win? Oh, thank you, Muhammad. Share a win. I'm looking for wins. So today was a grinded out day for me, and I really thought that I was going to not get everything done that I had to get done. I had to work on client files, and I had to put together a presentation, and I got it all done. So I was really pleased about that. But I did take frequent breaks. So I didn't get as much done as I wanted to, but I did finish everything that was on my to-do list. So Trey says his big win was that he wants to be in better shape, so he joined a gym. So yay for joining the gym. And then I also wanted to talk about, while you guys share your wins, if you want to share this broadcast, that would be great. But if anything really, wonderful happened to you today, hey David, thank you for that. I appreciate that. I'm looking for it because I want to celebrate you. Ron says he won an argument. What was the argument, Ron? I'm just curious. I just really need to know what the argument is. So the other thing that I wanted to talk about, because this has been kind of not weighing heavy on me, but it's definitely has been something that's kind of stuck in the back of my mind. Hey Jonathan, how are you? I think that Shauna is being more consistent. And oh, good. Well, I talked about that yesterday, Shauna. Hey, Ernest. I talked about it yesterday, really us having to find that balance between body and business. It's just so much going on. Ulysses says he survived family Oh, Irma. Irma, you survived Irma. That's good. I'm glad you survived Irma. Bam says he woke up. I'm with you with that. That's always the first victory of the day, just waking up. Hey, Diedrich. Oh, thank you, C. I appreciate that. And so I wanted to talk about life because it's like there's so much going on. There's so many people dealing with so many issues, and these hurricanes certainly didn't help. Hey, Ms. Glitzy, how are you? So I think that a lot of us, believe that once we get to a certain point in life and once we've like ridden out some of the storms that we have in our past, that, we should really get a break, that like life should give us a break, like that we've done our time. It's like we've gone through the challenges, we've overcome them, we've demonstrated faith, we have kind hearts, we give back to the needy, we do like all of these things that at first, oh, Yolanda, good for you. Yolanda says she had a mental reset regarding values. Wow, a real dimensional shift for you. Very good. Christina is trying to stay balanced. Good for you. So I think that we all like get to a point where we think that we should just be good, that life should just like really give us a break, and that, no, we shouldn't have any other challenges. And I think, oh, good for you, Pryor. I'm glad you're a successful day of teaching. And I think that, like for me especially, or for people looking at other successful people, you think that life gives them a break. So you see somebody that's successful, that really has it going on. They seem to be able to master everything that they do, but you don't know what goes on behind the scenes. Oh, Timothy, awesome. So Timothy spent 6 days with Harvey, overcomers in Texas. Very good. And that's just not the way life works, unfortunately. So they always say God gives the strongest battles to the people that he knows can handle it. But I think for people who have any great mission in life to achieve, or, they have some purpose that they have to serve, challenges is always going to be a part of it. Exactly, Trey. Everyone has a storm before the sunshine. And unfortunately, I don't think that ever stops. So, you could get to a point where you're like, okay, I'm good. I've like mastered everything I want to master. I've been successful. And then boom, here comes another challenge. And that's just the way life is. If you think of a tree, the strongest branches, the biggest trees. Hey, Ms. Tull, how are you? The biggest trees, they have the deepest roots so that they can withstand the storm. So life is just going to continue to test you. Absolutely. Everyone has a storm before the sunshine. That is so true. Life is going to just continue to test you. And I don't know if I don't think it ever is easy. I think it gets easier. So like for me, whenever I'm about to start a new project, and Shauna, this was true with Shift, whenever something really big is going to break through, I know that challenges, there are going to be road bumps, there are going to be challenges, there are going to be things that I have to overcome. And I think that's just life, or God, however you want to look at it, testing you and getting you ready. And so I think knowing that once you go through it, on the other side, there's something better. It makes it easier to withstand it, but it doesn't make it easy. There are still things that can knock me off my game. It doesn't happen quite as often, thank goodness. Hey, Starlet, how are you? But there are still things that can knock me off my game. And we're still taking your wins for the day. So if you have any wins, feel free to share them now. And there's still things that make me question, like, well, what have I done wrong? Why is this falling apart? I thought I had covered all my bases. Exactly. Trey says he knows when he's having a hard time, it's God preparing him for your blessings. And that's exactly what it is. And so a lot of times they always say, hold on, because, the miracle sometimes happens in the 11th hour. And that is really true. So if you feel like any kind of opposition, sometimes you just have to keep pushing. Because it's just you have to push. It's like labor. You have to push to get to that breakthrough, to birth that purpose, to get to your greatness. And so I just want to encourage somebody today, because I know I needed to tell myself this. I just wanted to encourage somebody today that you just have to hold on through all of that. You just have to hold on, because on the other side, there will be a blessing. Okay. Now we're talking in Spanish, and I took Spanish, but don't throw a lot at me at one time. So I just want to encourage somebody today, if you have to hold on, if anybody is going through any kind of a challenging situation, if you could just type me in the thing so I can kind of know your name and I can put you on my list too. to whom endure to the end. That is so true. You have got to hang on. Hey, Roberto. We're talking about challenges in life and how you have to hold on to get through your breakthrough. So I really just wanted to encourage everybody tonight, because like I said, I know we all, especially as entrepreneurs, sometimes we go through these seasons and we tend to isolate ourselves. And I think that gives a false impression that life is always easy. Okay, Rich, I got you on my list. It makes others think that life is always easy. There's a meme that goes around, and I love it, where they say, don't ever compare your real life to somebody's social media life. And I think, Elaine, I got you. Thank you, Randy. And I think that's so true, because, I mean, we tend to kind of clean things up and polish them and make them look really good because we're scared of the world judging us. And I think that's really doing a disservice. One, because, it's just so hard to maintain that energy. I mean, being perfect, it's so hard to maintain that energy. And then it also doesn't give someone else the permission to be okay with their imperfection. So, okay, I got you, darling. So you just have to hold on, but I think we have to be honest about some of the trials and the tribulations that we go through, and not isolate ourselves so much, and not always pretty it up. Now, I'm not saying have a complete breakdown on social media. I am not saying that. I am not saying vent all your troubles and curse people out. I'm not saying any of that. But I am saying that at some point you have to be transparent. Thank you, Trey. I just was about to say that. At some point, you have to be transparent. You have to be honest about what's going on. And there are days where, being an entrepreneur, or being a single mother, or being, somebody's oldest daughter, whatever your situation may be, there are some days that it's just hard and that you have to push through, even if you don't feel like it. Roberto, I'm going through that too. And it's interesting. Roberto said that he's having some challenges with an event, that because people are canceling because of Harvey or Irma. And I'm going through the same thing. I have clients that have not been able to pay because they're not worried about business. They're worried about their lives. They're worried about putting their life back together. And you really can't. It's an interesting position to be in, because you don't want to pressure them, to pay, because they've got serious life issues to deal with. But at the same point, then this affects, me over here. And, luckily I'm at a point in my life where I know I have that faith, or a single dad, Matthew, absolutely. I have that faith that everything is going to work out and pull through. But I mean, it's real life. It's real life. And when you have, I do, my sister's on. All right, Stacy, I have okay, so Asa told me yesterday I'm not supposed to keep saying I have a cold, or I'm going to keep this cold forever. So I am definitely in a healing process. And it is at the very beginning. We haven't gotten to the almost through it part. Yes, Roberto. So yeah, if it was me, I can't even fault him, because if it was me and I had to worry about, feeding my babies or clothing my babies or finding somewhere to live, that would be my focus too. But like I said, it's real life. And so what happens over here affects what happens over here, and it can be scary. But you have to, Sean, I'm in the healing process. But for us not to be honest about stuff like that, I think, makes, so there may be another entrepreneur out there that's going through the same thing, but because I'm not talking about it, well, I'm talking about it now, but if I didn't talk about it, or if Roberto didn't talk about it, then this entrepreneur may think that we're good and he's the only person with this issue. And that's not true. We all have a lot of similar things that go on in our lives. And when we don't share that, like I said, it makes other people think that they're weak or bad or not smart enough or not good enough because they have an issue that they think we don't. So all I'm saying is that we have to be more transparent. All I'm saying is that we have to support one another. And that's the main reason why I decided to come on again last night and this evening to talk about this and to really try to be as transparent as possible. Hey, Richard, how are you? And also, just to encourage you all to celebrate your wins. It's like we're so focused, especially as entrepreneurs, we can be so focused on what's not happening in our business that we don't think enough about what the good stuff is and what we actually got accomplished in a day. And I agree with everybody that said just waking up is the first big victory, so we should all be celebrating that. But throughout the day, there are good things. And I think when you focus on that, especially before you go to bed, that you also set an intention. Yeah, being an entrepreneur can be a roller coaster, so you have to really set yourself up. Hey, Rodolfo, thank you. So all I'm saying is we got to celebrate ourselves more. We have to be authentic, and we have to support each other. And so I just want to thank you guys for popping on. I mean, I'm going to do this as often as I can because it also keeps me centered. Oh, I miss you too, Charlize Hilton Brown. It also keeps me centered on the things that I do well during the day. And as I wrap my day up, I like to be focused on the good things and not necessarily the bad things. And so this is as much for me as it is for you. And so my commitment to myself and to you guys is that I will pop on, hey Frank, and we can talk about this kind of stuff. And like I said, celebrate our wins and think about something that's going to motivate us to do even better than we did today, tomorrow. So that's it. You are welcome. You know what? I've been in radio, a long time, and it's like so funny. People are always like surprised at how transparent I can be. Oh, thank you, Trey. Trey said I was the first person to hold his attention for this long. I appreciate that. But I've been on the radio a long time, and I've lived my life in the public, the good and the bad. I told my oldest son, even though he doesn't like me to tell people this, I told my oldest son I had him, and 10 minutes later I was on the radio. My legs were still up in the stirrups. So I truly have lived my life on the radio. I have people that, were there when my son was born. And so it's easy for me, but I encourage other people to get comfortable with it as well, because God knows it will take, I know, Stacy, God knows it will take the pressure off of you, being so perfect. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be who you are. And so that is, no, I do have a radio. Yeah, I've been in radio and TV a long time. And I miss Chicago, Frank. Thank you very much. I miss Chicago a lot. So I love you guys. I wish you nothing but the best. Exactly. If you have nothing to hide, you hide nothing. That's very good. That's very true, Lucille. I appreciate it. So you guys have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you sometime tomorrow. So send me healing vibes, like wave your little fingers and send me healing vibes. Okay, I receive it all. I'll see you guys. Have a nice